prevent it from fully perching, thus avoiding the 1/3 damage limit entirely. With an optimal 12-eye pre-lit portal seed being discovered alongside this brand new Ender Dragon strategy, the record began to fall again. Two minutes and 26 seconds. This category is done. The record might still be improved again in the future, but it's tough to argue that there could ever be any new major strategy developments for any percent SSG ever again. 226. That's where the record stands today, but that's not where the story ends. While I don't have the time to go over the revival of any percent random seed glitchless in detail, just know that with the release of Minecraft 1.16 alongside the one cycle Ender Dragon fight, the general gist of any percent RSG is spawn in, find a village to get enough beds, make your way to the Nether, find 1.16's new piglin mobs to trade with, get ender pearls from them as fast as you can, get blaze rods for your Eyes of Ender, find the end portal stronghold, and kill the Ender Dragon using the one cycle bed technique. Today, the record for any percent random seed glitchless in 1.16 stands at 14 minutes and 36 seconds real time, and for 1.9 through 1.15, which is its own separate category, it's 20 minutes and 45 seconds, both held by Coriway. Will sub 20 for that version happen anytime soon? Will you be the one to make history? That's about it for me for now. Thanks for watching.
Throughout the years, the art of speedrunning video games has evolved immensely. As this hobby has gained traction over the past decade, more people have entered the speedrun scene, contributing to make the runs themselves faster via increasing the quality of play, as well as discoveries of tricks, skips, and glitches galore. However, these new developments often result in the runs themselves becoming much harder to improve, with new world record speedrunnings beginning to implement some of the most difficult, absurd, and even seemingly impossible tricks. These tricks and glitches range from incredibly precise positioning to successfully execute the trick, to astonishing sequence of frame-perfect inputs, pushing the limits of what is humanly possible, all while trying to go fast. In this video, I will be going over a handful of the most recent examples of the most difficult tricks used in speedrunning today, and who knows, maybe by the end of it, you'll feel a little bit inspired. Or maybe you'll be too afraid to even pick up a controller to try any of these tricks. Well then, let's begin. Starting off with the original Super Mario Bros., where thanks to this game's frame rule system, time and levels can only be saved or lost within intervals of 21 frames in a 60 FPS game, and over the course of several decades, Super Mario Bros. Speedrunners have been able to match tool-assisted speedrun frame rules in several levels, even within full game runs, especially the early levels. But one level in particular became a bottleneck, where many world record attempts died. Beating World 4-2 as fast as possible is one of the hardest and strictest segments in speedrunning history. In order to compete for the world record, which is usually a frame rule slower than the task here, players must be able to clip into a brick wall in order to displace Mario's horizontal position about 20 pixels to the right, hit the beanstalk block, and enter this pipe at the correct time in order to wrong warp to the warp zone to get to World 8, skipping the long beanstalk climbing animation in the process. All gas, no brakes. In Super Mario Bros. Any percent, this is where the majority of runs will likely die, not even 2 minutes into a speedrun barely under 5 minutes. But wait! It can get even harder. You could try to match the task frame rule by going for Lightning 4-2. This is an even more ludicrous than the already difficult Fast 4-2, utilizing a single quick bump to displace Mario 12 pixels to the right, multiple frame-perfect inputs on the D-pad, including a pipe jump to successfully perform the wrong warp. Former world record holder Nifsky grinded for this frame rule on and off for about half a year, before becoming the first human to nail Lightning 4-2 on January 30th, 2021. An absolutely incredible feat today, and perhaps the standard for world records tomorrow. Similar to Super Mario Bros., GoldenEye in the N64, specifically on the level Depot on the Agent difficulty, has an instance where speedrunners attempt a trick previously believed to be task only. In this level on the Agent difficulty, the only objective is to navigate to and board Trevelyan's train. In a normal playthrough, you can reach this train by entering this building and traveling through the second floor to open this roller gate before boarding the train. For about a couple decades, speedrunners took this basic route in order to finish the level as quickly as possible. There is a roller gate on the side of the warehouse that would be a more direct path to the train, but alas, it cannot be opened. However, in 2006, the former world champion, Wouter Jansen, discovered that while using the turbo mode cheat, that it was possible to clip through this locked gate via a warp. Warps are a common technique used in GoldenEye speedrunning in order to clip through slowly moving doors or up ladders by generating enough lag by switching weapons or shooting. Warps generally weren't that difficult to perform, but this warp proved to be quite tricky, and without the turbo cheat, it was very inconsistent and appeared to be tasks only. Several years after Wouter posted about this discovery, runners would sometimes attempt it during bad runs of the level just for the hell of it, but none of them could get it to work. That is, until April 26, 2015, when the speedrunner Scorpion went for it, and this happened.
The reason is kind of stupid.
Scorpion had done it. He had become the first human to pull off the warp without cheats. That same day, the world record was lowered from 25 seconds to 24, and then to 23 the next day, which is still the record to this day, tied by 18 people. Despite this, the Depot Gate Warp is an incredibly precise trick that requires a good angle and good timing immediately after performing a somewhat accurate gunshot to lure guards out of the train in order to get 23 seconds. Runners have only been able to successfully pull off this warp once they put in enough time in the level, and even then, they can go several hours without even getting it once, not unlike another infamous shortcut within another N64 classic. In Mario Kart 64, several of the game's tracks have shortcuts which use glitches in order to complete the laps much faster than what's intended. The most infamous example is a skip known as the Weather Tanko on Choco Mountain. Discovered by the tasser Weatherton in 2014, the glitchy shortcut involves hopping up a wall a bit past the finish line using the boost of a mushroom and a precise hop to clip through a precise part of the wall briefly before tumbling back down. This tiny clip will trick the game into thinking the player has hit a checkpoint later along the track, and the lap will count once they cross the finish line. Getting the correct boost on console proved to be quite difficult, and many debated whether it could even be done by a human. However, on August 1st, 2014, the top runner, Beck Abney, would become the first human to pull off the Weather Tanko, finishing a lap in under 6 seconds. After this, many people speculated whether it was possible to hit 3 Weather Tankos in a row in a single time trial. The odds of hitting the Weather Tanko were about 1 in 40. Multiply that 3 times, and the odds fall to about 1 in 64,000. This was due to not only the precision needed to clip into the wall, but you also had to hope that the game didn't troll you with the incorrect frame when you hop up a wall, causing you to tumble down instead. Come 2017, and Abney would decide to grind for hitting 3 Weather Tankos in a row. It took over 26,000 failed attempts, but on October 29th, Abney would successfully nail 3 Weather Tankos in a row, finishing the time trial in just over 16 seconds. To this day, only 4 people have successfully pulled off 3 out of 3 in a single time trial, but that is still more people who have pulled that off than the number of people who have pulled off this next shortcut even once. Along with its older brother, Mario Kart Wii is home to several glitchy skips known as Ultra Shortcuts. Some, like the Grumble Volcano and Coconut Mall Ultras, are relatively easy. Others are quite difficult, and then there's Rainbow Road. On March 4th, 2016, Tasser Esteloy62 discovered an ultra shortcut on Rainbow Road, and it was quite the doozy. To pull off an ultra shortcut, you need to hop from a region known as a key checkpoint box to a region box not adjacent to the key checkpoint area. In this case, the player must jump from the finish line's key checkpoint box in order to prevent the key checkpoint from just before the finish line from unloading. On Rainbow Road, this involves clipping into the fence using a boost pad and a well-timed hop, after which a precise technique known as a spin drift must be executed in order to get the correct angle before boosting off with a hop and all 3 mushrooms. If done correctly, the player will land just before the key checkpoint, and the lap will count. This was quite intimidating to say the least, and despite a few people attempting the Ultra throughout the years, no one could quite land it for nearly 5. However, on January 13th, 2021, speedrunner Arthur would become the first human to successfully nail the Rainbow Road Ultra shortcut in time trials, setting not only a new individual lap record, but also a new 3-lap world record as well. Since then, no one has nailed the Ultra shortcut, nor beaten Arthur's times yet, and it's unlikely that anyone will for a very long time. It's also worth noting that just a few weeks earlier, prominent Tasser, Malio, had discovered a method to perform the Ultra shortcut using just 1 mushroom, allowing for it to be nailed 3 times within a single race. Unlike the Weather Tango, however, the inputs required are far too precise for a human to nail the trick without using all 3 shrooms. So sadly, a 3 out of 3 will remain tasks only for the foreseeable future. But what if you were to try to attempt a trick with similar strictness in regards to precision in a full game speedrun? Up until this point, the tricks I've mentioned are for very short speedruns where you can just try again right away. But what if you had to perform a clip so precise, where your position had to be perfect, down to the millionths of a unit, and it's 20 minutes deep in an hour-long speedrun? Welcome to Banjo-Kazooie Any Percent! In this speedrun, you need to collect 810 notes in order to open up the final door to the final boss fight with Gruntilda. Oh yeah, and like 6 Jiggies. In a normal playthrough, you need to collect a vast majority of the game's main collectible, Jiggies, in order to unlock all 9 levels, where in each level there contains 100 notes, which are required to open up several note doors along your journey, including the final one that requires 810 notes. The note door cannot be skipped, but with the use of several out-of-bounds glitches, Banjo and Kazooie can enter all but 2 levels without any Jiggies. The most difficult clip, however, is early Mad Monster Mansion. In early 2020, a new type of clip was discovered called a float clip, where at extremely precise locations, it is possible to clip through floors and enter loading zones. Following this discovery, Glitch Hunter the 8-bit beast wrote a program in order to find the precise position and angle required to clip into the Mad Monster Mansion, one of the only levels that couldn't be accessed early through glitches up until that point. Come June 27th, 8-bit was post a viable setup that worked on console. The Tasser Ring Rush posted a setup that was a minute faster than the previous one. When pulled off correctly, the trick could save up to 4 minutes in the any percent category, enough time to push the game under 1 hour, but it was no walk in the park. The setup required precise pause-buffered first-person camera movement, as well as frame-perfect techniques, such as punch canceling. It's quite ridiculous, but at least you could take your time to perform the setup correctly and optimize your execution later. When it comes to other frame-perfect techniques, however, sometimes there's no room for a breather. In Super Mario Odyssey's minimum capture speedrun, players attempt to speedrun the game while only capturing entities with Cappy a total of 3 times. The run features several frame-perfect out-of-bounds clips, frame-perfect Cappy teleportation, all while playing with 2 controllers simultaneously. And yet, as these crazy tricks were implemented and the capture count lowered, one thing remained the same for the past 2 years. The nut jump is easily the hardest trick in the run. Exclusive in version 1.0 of Mario Odyssey, this trick allows Mario to gain infinite height using a wet nut. When this giant nut is wet, it gains the strange property of being able to repeatedly be caught mid-air. In minimum capture speedruns, This is used to skip the final pylon capture just before the Mecha Brutal fight in Bowser's Kingdom. However, in order to catch the nut again after throwing it, you must input a frame-perfect dive, catch it, throw, dive frame perfectly, rinse and repeat for several dozen times until you reach the top. This takes quite a lot of practice and is not only a huge roadblock for newbies to the category, but also an infuriating run killer for veteran runners. The nut jump was first implemented in late 2018 when the speedrunner Grady completed the first 13 captures run using this trick, and the speedrun hasn't been the same ever since. With ideal execution though, the nut jump takes under a minute, and you're also just going up in a straight line, worrying only about hitting a nice rhythm. Several frame perfect inputs, yes, but at least it's not over 200 frame perfect inputs over the course of several minutes, like in The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. If you want to have a chance at getting a competitive time in speedrunning Wind Waker and not automatically be 10 minutes slower than the very best, you'll need to perform a manual super swim at the very start of the run. Throughout the speedrun, super swimming is a common glitch used to travel across the Great Sea at lightning speeds, using the assistance of glitches such as Wind Waker storage in the original GameCube version, or item sliding with the grappling hook in the HD remake. At the start of the game in Outset Island, however, you'll have none of those items, meaning that in order to super swim, you'll need to frame perfectly turn 180 degrees every frame while swimming in order to build up enough speed. When swimming in the opposite direction on the first frame, Link gains 3 units of speed. If he continues in that direction for another frame, he loses 3 frames of speed, resulting in a net 0 speed gain. In November 2017, Wind Waker speedrunners began experimenting with manual super swimming, using frame-perfect pausing and buffering opposite inputs on the control stick. Once Link reached 550 units of speed, the camera would lock in place to where just holding up on the control stick would charge up speed. Once runners got good at practicing this soon became a viable trick for both Wind Waker HD and SD speedrunning, although it proved to be quite the challenge. Not only would you need to do hundreds of frame-perfect pause buffering over the course of several minutes, but you would also need to precisely refill Link's air meter along the coast halfway through the super swim, all while trying not to completely lose all the speed you built up. And as if that didn't sound wild enough, things got crazier in the GameCube version in 2020, when speedrunners such as Linka7 and Demon began doing unbuffered manual super swimming, which involved flicking the stick up and down at a rate close to 20 times per second. As you can imagine, this method is very physically demanding, but charging up the super swim unbuffered saved about 2 minutes over unbuffered, and thus the top runners began to partially implement it in the speedruns, before eventually doing the trick entirely unbuffered. It's one of the most physically demanding tricks in all of speedrunning, but evidence shows that it is good for building up arm muscle. As strenuous as manual super swimming is, at least it's relatively mindless exercise. At least, compared to writing literal code with Koopa shells, blocks, Yoshi, and fireballs, oh my. Super Mario World's credits warp is honestly a technical marvel within speedrunning. It allows Mario to write and execute arbitrary code within the game as a means of warping from one of the first levels in the game to the end credits. This is accomplished using an SNES multitap, with several controllers attached with specific inputs taped down, as well as position-perfect Koopa Troopa stomps, shell positioning, throws, Yoshi block duplication, and near frame-perfect fireball spitting. The first time a human successfully pulled off this credits warp on console was on January 21st, 2015, when popular Minecraft YouTuber and Super Mario World enthusiast SethBling performed it, beating Super Mario World in just under 6 minutes. Over the years, the fastest setup has changed, and performing credits warp has become less about taking the time to set up the necessary components to a near incomprehensible sequence of 41 seconds of gameplay, consisting of several frame-perfect and position-perfect inputs which make the warp possible. As speedruns of the category have gotten faster, the less consistent successful runs were, but in spite of this run's absurd difficulty, it's less than a minute, meaning that despite the impeccable precision required to complete a single run, you can always try again right away. Not to mention, it's performed in a simple, two-dimensional plane. But what if you were to perform something similar to this, but it was in the third dimension, where precise angles and coordinates could make or break the run? Ever since the fall of 2019, when Glitches and Stuff discovered stale reference manipulation, or SRM for short, speedruns of the N64 Zelda games haven't been the same since. This is by far the most powerful glitch in both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and is incredibly complex, enough to warrant its own dedicated video on this channel in the near future. But to quickly summarize SRM, it allows you to manipulate the game's memory by performing specific actions before unloading a held object through the loading plane. This allows the reference of the unloaded object to become stale, and be filled in with another reference depending on position and angle. This is used in various speedruns to obtain several items much earlier than intended, as well as obtain glitchy items such as the F-boots, which normally aren't obtainable, and allow Link to float in the air from a side hop, and even wrong warp to different locations in the game, and even execute arbitrary code similar to Mario World. Various uses of SRM are used in several of the game's categories. The most infamous and volatile uses of SRM are performed in Ocarina of Time's 100% category, an incredibly brutal gauntlet filled with several difficult wrong warps, which are both position and angle perfect, and have shaved off half an hour out of a 3.5 hour run. Setups of these warps exist and are performed in full game runs, but the precision required to successfully nail these wrong warps is extreme, where the slightest positioning error could lead to a soft lock or the game crashing. This makes the speedrun incredibly unstable, meaning that until you reach the final Ganon fight, the run is always at risk of dying due to a crash or a soft lock. As daunting as this sounds, runners willingly run 100% with these incredibly tight setups and warps, as it's possible to learn and gain some level of consistency. Other speedrunners aren't so lucky, as is the case with Super Mario 64 120 Star. In the 120 Star speedrun, runners collect the star atop the house in Rainbow Ride alongside the 100 coin star. However, they must ride a magic carpet in order to reach the top of the house for nearly a minute. This is obviously slower than not using the carpet, but is consistent and safe. To reach the top of the house without the carpet is downright preposterous. To do so, you must pick up the Bob-omb atop the ship on the other side of the map, throw it and catch it while it's at its biggest size before exploding to stop the explosion and give Mario lots of backward speed. Mario is then navigated to a place where he can drop the Bob-omb in a precise manner to prevent it from ever exploding. Re-grab it while Mario is sliding off of a ledge to carry the Bob-omb without using his hands so he can use the majority of his moveset once more. While this is happening, he is continuously being pushed back, and with careful navigation, he can travel to a warp location which teleports him to the house's balcony. From there, Mario conserves the speed and can perform a complex series of glitchy wall kicks along the house in order to reach the star without the carpet. This strat was first implemented in a TAS in 2013, saving over a minute. Several years later in 2019, top runners such as Cheese were able to perform the trick using save states, but so far, only one person, Zaya, has successfully managed to perform carpetless on console without save states. This trick will likely be used in individual star speedruns, but will be considered way too difficult to go for in full game runs. Especially since there's several places where you can mess up, and it's during the final 5 minutes of the run too, so the risk heavily outweighs the reward. Throughout this video, I've gone over some pretty insane tricks, so I've saved the longest, most tedious, and mind-boggling glitch used in actual speedruns for last. Very recently in the Breath of the Wild speedrunning community, glitch hunter Legend of Link discovered a fascinating new glitch known as New Game Plus. This trick allows the Great Plateau tutorial to be skipped from a fresh save file, as well as allowing for several duplicated items, as well as the Bow of Light outside of the final boss fight with infinite ammo and godlike power. For long runs such as the infamous 100% speedrun, it easily saves over a couple of hours. The catch, however, is that the setup takes well over an hour, has to be performed before all the speedrun attempts in the categories that allow it, contains several frame-perfect sequences, all while losing the ability to save the game, and if you die during the setup, you have to start it all over again. Fellow lowest percent contributor and Zelda speedrunner, Linka7 has an excellent video covering the setup in great detail, so if you'd like to know more details, I suggest you check that video out. This glitch is incredibly absurd, but incredibly useful too. As tedious and off-putting as it may sound to many, there have been some speedrunners who have been creating a new 100% route with New Game Plus, so expect to see a few people running the category with this trick in the near future. Speedrunning tricks can be incredibly hard at times. They can be so daunting and difficult that'll prevent a vast majority of people from ever attempting these tricks. Yet, it's part of what makes speedrunning so great. The speedrunners who take their time to learn these glitches or complex movement do so out of the love for speedrunning, and push speedruns to not only become faster with each passing year, but to put on a fantastic show for the viewers at home, whether it be live at a charity marathon in front of thousands of viewers, or for the few people watching in a tiny obscure corner on the internet. People can interpret these glitch performances as either inspiring or intimidating. Which umbrella do you find yourself under? Would you attempt to perform some of these glitches for fun, or would you rather stick to the sidelines? Let us know in the comment section down below. Thank you to everyone who helped me with this video, and if you enjoyed today's episode of Lowest Percent, consider subscribing for some of the highest quality speedrunning content on YouTube. This has been Lunatic J, and thank you for watching.
Okay, should be live. What's up, everyone? Let me know how volume is. Volume should be good. We'll wait a couple minutes, get some people in here. How's everyone doing today? I'm going to go ahead while we're kind of bringing people in. Please read the pinned message, because no, I do not have the Switch version of 3D World Bowser's Fury. I wish I did. This is just the Wii U version, as you can see, playing on a gamepad. And I thought it would be kind of fun to learn how to actually speedrun this game in preparation for the Switch version. Now, before we start, I'm going to show you the main thing that I will be doing, and there's really just one trick in this game, and that trick is called Cat Momentum. And I'm going to really quick demonstrate it, and it's something that I am still learning. I only just learned it today. And it's going to be used throughout the entire run. So as you're going to see at the bottom of my screen, we have the splits, and I'm going to be splitting after each level, and you're going to see a number on the right as well as the character. The character is the person I'm going to play as for that level, because each character is a little different for each level. Some of them are more beneficial than others. And then the number is how many green stars I have to get. Now here's the thing. I've only beat this game like 2 or 3 times, so I'm going to forget where green stars are. So that's just going to happen. So let me go ahead and just really quick show you Cat Momentum, just so you can see how it is so much faster. And what's also interesting is, you may know, if you're excited for Bowser's Fury, you probably noticed the movement in that game is faster than this game. Well, for speedrunning, that actually does not matter at all. Even if Cat Momentum works in Bowser's Fury, the faster movement will still be slower than this. So basically what you do is you jump, dive again, and then jump, and you basically maintain your momentum. And it is, if done correctly, it is way faster than normal movement. I've only done a couple, because I have not mastered this at all. Like I said, I only just started learning this today, but that's kind of the idea. That's what a lot of the run is. There's also a couple very cool glitches I cannot wait to show you. I've learned a couple of them, and those will be kind of later in the run, but yeah, they're really cool. I'm really excited to do a run. Let's see, we got some chats from Byron, Emulator, and Jake. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. So, here's how this is going to work. I'm actually going to spend an entire week learning to speedrun this game. I'm going to do the first stream, obviously, today, right now. The rest of my streams will be on my Twitch page, twitch.tv/NathanielBandy. So if you want to watch the other 6 days of me learning the game, learning the route better, then make sure to follow me there. But I don't want to spam you guys with YouTube streams every single day for a week. That's why I'm only going to do one today. But, yeah, we're just going to give it a shot. I don't care how bad this run is. We're just going to go. We're just going to go at it, basically. Look, you're Woody. What's up, Woody? Thank you for the super chat. Okay. Thank you very much, Tim, for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right, fellas, I'm only going to be able to read chat in the super chats probably in between levels, so just keep that in mind. I just want to say thanks again to Emulator, Wink Dinks, Skull Trooper, and that guy in the office. Okay, and this run starts with Luigi. So it's supposed to start right here. Hold on, did I select? Okay, I selected file 2. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. And there we go. we are in. My dad is here. Hey. He said hello. Thank you for the super chat. We got one from Endog and also another one from Jake. Thank you very much. Yeah, you can hop in real quick. Yeah, Naum is here. Yep, he's working right now as well. Okay. Really curious this is going to go. I'm actually really stoked because I've been practicing this for... I probably only practiced like an hour or two. Like, I put in about 30, 45 minutes into the cat momentum jump, and I practiced the other tricks, but I'm not super good at it. But I really enjoyed it. Like, I think this is going to be a really fun game to speedrun once I, like, know the route. So, I'm honestly really excited about this. I have not tried to speedrun any other Mario game before, just Mario 64. Hey, yeah, that's it. So, this is really cool to be trying a different one today. Yeah, just go out and do Peach. So we will actually be using Peach for a lot of levels. But not for all of them. For this first one, it's going to be Luigi. And then, well, you're going to see on the splits, like, which character we're going to use. Because Peach is not optimal for every single stage. But I would probably say maybe like half of them, something like that. Hey, what's up, Dilly? Thank you very much. Yeah, Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, it will be epic. I agree. Okay. Here we go. Another chat from Endog. I appreciate it. All right. Now we're in. Okay. Have to remember to get the green stars. I've been practicing, and I have not been getting the stars that much, so... Okay. Something I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to use a touch strat. Hit this while I'm moving. I missed it. Come on, hit it. Okay, whatever. I'll just hit it. I'll just jump at it. Whatever. Okay, here we go. There we go. That's what I was kind of talking about. So you saw a little bit of the cat momentum glitch. Whoops. That's fine. I can do this. It's not really that fast, but that's okay. Again, first attempt. I've never done a speedrun of this ever, so I don't expect to have a super impressive run or impressive time or anything like that, and that's okay. Go, and then we'll come down here, get the third one. All right. And then we'll grab pull. And that's that. I actually don't know when to split after a level. I think it's probably when the screen closes in. That's just what I'm going to do. So wait till the timer ends. Right there. That's just what I'm going to split. I don't know if that's when you're supposed to do it, but... Okay. One world down. Lots more to go. And we will be using a lot of warps, by the way. So, we don't actually play a lot of World 1. Because there is a warp in 1-2, and we just go right to 2-1. And then from there, we play for a little while, then there's one more warp that we use, I think, in World 5. I need to use... No, Toad. I need to use Toad. I have to look at my splits, otherwise I'm going to forget which character to use. Okay. Gotta get all 3 green stars here. Remember, there's not one down there. Oh, that's kind of slow. You know, that's not that bad. I won't complain. Okay. Got our first green here. Very nice. I don't really need to go up here, but whatever. Oh, I need to go in there? Okay, crap. I forgot about that. Okay. All right. Okay. Come on. Just got to go in the purple question mark. Alright, there we go. Now we're in. Okay, I did that the fast way. That is, I think, the fastest way to do that. Or to get that star in particular. Hey. I'm pretty happy with how many of these momentum jumps I'm getting. I was a little worried I was just going to miss a bunch of them, but I've actually been getting a decent amount. Oh, no! What are you doing? Don't go in there. Incorrect. Okay, we're going to use this to get the star. Okay. We're going to climb up here. Oh, okay. Very good. And just like that, we're going to World 2. Thank you, J-Lord and WinkDink, for the chats. You think Blue Television Games is live? Well, that's pretty dope. I've watched a couple of his videos. Okay. Next, we got some Peach action. I saw someone said I should just play as Peach the whole time. Well, now we're about to play some Peach. This is not... So, okay, so for anyone that's new, please read the pinned comment. This is the Wii U version. I do not have the Switch version of this game. Please read the pinned comment. Okay, we're gonna go up here first. Okay, there is like an insanely fast way to do this part. I've not practiced it at all, so I'm not even gonna bother trying. Okay, as long as I don't lose the suit, I'll be happy. And I lost the suit. That is a big oof. Okay, so I'm gonna have to find a cat suit somewhere else. Oh yeah, what if I get it through? Okay, that's fine. Honestly, that's okay. That's gonna happen. Not that big a deal. I just gotta figure out where to find... Is there a suit in here? I think there is. Oh, sick. Okay, good. Okay, very good. Yeah, he's making me nervous, so I'm doing that. No! Oh, come on. That was bullcrap. Darn it. Was kind of hoping I'd get the suit. Alright, honestly, I just don't want to die again at this point. I can find the cat bell later. Okay, there's a green star in here. Come on, hit it. There we go. Okay, we do not want to get any stamps either. Those are really bad to get. Just because they waste time at the end screen. Wait, I'm missing a star? What did I miss? Oh, crap. Okay, honestly, that's okay, because here's what I'm going to do. I will go back. I'll play the level again. It's not that big a deal. Okay, I know why I'm missing the star. God dang it. Alright. Okay, so we're going to get the first green star, and then we're just going to try to plow through the level as fast as we can. And I will hit my split once I get the green. Okay, and I have all this stuff turned off. Get the star. See, you know what I thought? I thought the star was going to save. I think that's my issue. Thought it was going to save, but I guess not. Okay, I need to figure out how to do this without getting hit. I do not know how to do that. Okay, I'm just going to run. I don't want to die.